Hi there. So today we're going to have a look at making something from the cupboard. Using some ingredients that would always be in your larder. We're going to make something with butter, sugar, eggs, rotten old bananas, out-of-date nuts, and flour. So we're going to be making a banana loaf with a honey icing over the top of it today. So first thing we need to do, like always, is have a look at our recipe. Okay, see what equipment we need and get all our equipment ready so that we're able to start cooking. Okay, and you obviously remember what that means. So you're going to get all your ingredients out, you're going to get all of your equipment in the right places, and there's obviously a French word which describes that, which I will be asking you a question on a bit later on. Okay, so very easy what we need to do. So the equipment that we're going to need mixing bowls. We've got a kitchen mixer just over here. We've got a set of scales. We've got our tin to make our loaf in, with all the pieces cut up ready to line it. Our ingredients weighed out over here. So over here we've got ourselves 115 grams of butter, unsalted butter because we're making desserts. Okay, we've got at least two very ripe bananas. Normally the ones that people throw away, but do you know what? There's so much flavour in these bananas that they're really good for using for things like desserts. Okay, I've got an extra one there because these two here, we need 200 grams, and these two weigh about 190 grams. So we're going to put a little bit of an extra sort of bruised one in there as well. We've got light brown sugar. Okay, this is golden caster sugar. It's really nice for making desserts with. It's got a really nice nutty flavour to it. It's a bit better than your normal golden caster sugar. Things like muscovado sugar, really dark sugars, that can be really bitter and be overpowering in the flavour, but the golden caster sugar works really well in desserts. We've got 2 to 3 eggs on here. Now these are medium eggs. If you're using large eggs, you'd use 2 eggs. But because they're medium eggs, we're going to use 3 to make the cake with. Okay. Then we've got 225 grams of self-raising flour. Okay, that's all weighed out there. And remember, we've got to sieve this just to remove the impurities and separate all the grains out, so we make a really nice light sponge. To go with that, we've got baking powder, which is here. And then we have some semi-skimmed milk and some walnuts that we're going to chop up as well to go into the cake. So that's all the ingredients we're going to put together, and we're going to pop it in. So first things we need to do, we're going to start work, so we need to make sure we're washing our hands and going to sanitize them. So I've already washed them, so I'm just going to sanitize them just to finish off. And I've got 2 little helpers with me today who are going to help smash the banana up for me. So what we need to do is weigh the banana out first. So we need to weigh out 200 grams. So what I need you two to do is peel a banana each. Okay, and then once you've peeled it, I need you to pop it in the bowl, just so we can see how much it weighs. But I'm pretty sure it's not going to be 200 grams. I'll take that. Put that in the bin. Let's see if we can open that for a minute. Okay, pop that in the bowl. Nice and quick. Doesn't matter if it breaks up because it's going to get smashed up anyway. Okay.
Can I leave the bottom?
Just pop that in there. Okay, and then we need, okay, so this weighs, how much does that weigh, Rue?
That weighs 1 to 4 grams.
How much is it now?
1, 2, 8, 9, 130.
Right, okay, so we need to cut a little bit more. So I reckon it's going to be about half a banana. Okay, so we'll just peel that quickly. And we'll pop that in there. Oh, even more. So how much is that?
167. No, it's 176.
176.
176.
Okay. So I'm going to pop that in there. 225. So when you're making desserts, it's really important in cakes to get the measurements absolutely right. So if it says 200 grams, then it has to be 200 grams. They're one of the few things that when you're cooking, how much does that say?
200 exactly.
Perfect. Okay, so when the cake's in, I'm going to put those on the side for you, and you can eat those later. Okay, so that's 200 grams. Now, these guys have got a fantastic job of getting a fork, so you can do half each. You can start bashing it with the back of the fork, so you don't want to poke it with a knife in there, because you want it to stick to it. So you're going to use the back of the fork, okay, just to push down, smash up the banana, just like that, okay. You're going to smash it all up. So you're going to do half of it, and then you're going to give it to Honey. So you do.
Oh, okay.
You're going to do this bit, this bit, this bit, and that bit, and maybe half of that bit, and then Honey can do those bits. So if you want to bash all that up, smash it. Okay. So while that's being bashed up, we're going to move on to the next bit. Okay, we've preheated the oven. It's set to 180 degrees centigrade. If you've got a fan oven, 160 degrees. This is a fan oven. If you gas, it's gas mark 4, and if you work in Fahrenheit, it's 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to grease the tin. So we've got a loaf tin, so it's a banana loaf, so we're going to make it in a big loaf tin like this. So I've got a spray here, it's a coconut spray, and instead of using butter, it's a bit more of a healthy option. So we're just going to spray the tin, not away no to people's faces. If you've only got butter, then just use butter, it's absolutely fine.
What if you haven't got a loaf tin?
If you haven't got a loaf tin, you could use a round cake tin, or if you haven't got that, you could just use a baking tin, but make sure it's greased and lined, like a Pyrex dish or something like that. It's absolutely fine. Or you can make them in individual cakes, but you'd have to adjust the cooking time. So it's a very good question. So what we're going to do, this is what this is going to have to do. I've cut 3 long pieces, and I've measured that by putting this onto a piece of greaseproof paper, not greaseproof, baking paper, and then cut round it, which is that one there, and it's just the size of the base. So this one goes in the bottom, and the grease holds that onto the bottom of the tray so it doesn't slip when you put the mix in. Well done, Liz. Thank you very much. So we're just going to pop these and some smaller bits around it, so you're just cutting them to fit. So this is really important bits, because a lot of people, when they're making baking or cooking, they don't get the mise en place right at the start. So when they haven't got it right, things end up going wrong because they're rushing to get things done, and then lose track of what they're doing. So just put a bit more of that on there. If you use like the normal greaseproof paper when you're making this, you need to grease the outside of the greaseproof paper, because if you don't, then the cake will stick to the paper and then you won't get it off properly, which will be a bit of a pain when you put the effort into making it. We don't need to do it. Okay, so that's job number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 done. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're mashing the bananas, and we're going to beat the butter and the sugar in our mixer. Or if you haven't got a mixer, you're going to get very muscly arm, because you need to bash it with this mixer. This mixer. So you're going to get a very muscly arm, end up looking like Obelix from Asterix, if you're old enough to remember. A really big arm. Anyway. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the butter. Who's going to put the butter in? Honey? Okay, tip the butter in. Now the butter has been taken out of the fridge, it's at room temperature-ish. Okay, so pop it in there. Ruben's going to pop the sugar in.
All of it?
All of it. Don't spill on the floor there. Tip it in. Perfect. Excellent. Okay, pop those on that and there, and then put those in the sink for washing up. That's it. And that's it. That little one goes out the way. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to pop this on here. If you've got a hand whisk, you can use a hand whisk as well. But just be careful, because if you're using a whisk with the butter, you'll get big chunks of butter, it will just spit them everywhere, and it'll go all over the kitchen, and you don't really want that, because there's a lot of clearing up. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to pop this on here, and hopefully I've plugged it in, which I'm sure I did, just to get your mise en place ready. So we're going to pop that down, and we're going to start it nice and slowly.
Jonathan, with hand whisk, approximately how long would you have to do it for?
Probably about 10 minutes to get a nice light fluff on the butter. Very good question. Okay, so we want to get this nice and light and fluffy. So I'm going to leave that beating in there, and I've got a special paddle on this machine that's got like a plastic spatula that makes sure that none of the butter, you know, it's really annoying when you use a machine and the butter sticks to the outside of the machine. Well, this one has this plastic spatula that takes it all off, hopefully. Well. So, the next thing we're going to put in there, once that's all done, is the eggs. But we need to do something with the eggs first. Okay, what we need to do is we're going to break them into this dish. So you're going to break them, one each into that dish. So I'm going to break one in, and you're going to break one each. Okay, so tap it on the side a couple of times, and just pop it in, and then put the shell back in there. Okay?
You with us? You can get that.
Doesn't matter if it breaks because it's going to be in there.
I break it and then the egg, the shell goes through.
Yeah. Where you've cracked it, put your thumbs there. That's it. Right, open it up. Open it up. That's it. Tip it up. Okay, so tip that in there. What we need to do, we've got eggshell in there now.
Yeah.
The good thing is, we can just lift it out. So you can either use a spoon, but as I've got clean hands, you can just lift that shell up. So, what we're going to do now is we're just going to mix it up very quickly. So use that fork and just beat it up so it's all mixed together. So you can mix it a little bit at a time each. I'll really give it a good beat. It's over. It's all mixed up. That's it, well done. Okay, so now this, up to now, if I take it off and just show you, that's pretty light. Do it the right way. So it's changed colour, so it's quite nice and light. Okay, absolutely lovely. So what we're going to do is we're going to slowly add the eggs into the butter mix, okay? And then we're going to add
Honey,
the...
you just did that, you need to wash your hands. You just wiped your nose, you need to wash your hands.
Yes. Use the soap. Okay, so we're going to add this nice and slowly into the butter mix. We add it a little bit at a time, don't add it all at once. So we need to incorporate the egg into the butter.
What would happen if you put all of it in at once?
It would like a split, so it will give it a strange texture. It will come back together when you put the flour in it, but it's just to give it a nice light finish to it. You incorporate the egg first. So it might not take all of the egg, but it's about 2 to 3 eggs, so we need to watch what we're doing and look at it as we're making it. It's 2 large eggs or 2 and a bit. So you can see in there, what colour is that one? Don't put your finger in here. What does it look like?
Pale yellow.
Yellow. Really light and fluffy as well.
And it smells nice too.
That's all the same. Okay, that's taken all that egg, which is fine. Good. So what we're going to do next, while that's just finishing off, what we need to do is we need to sieve the flour. So we're going to use a piece of paper, as I've shown you before, okay? where are you going to hold that? Honey, you're going to pour the flour into the sieve. Honey, pour into the sieve.
All of it?
Yep. And you're going to gently shake that. Like that, okay. I'm helping just so it doesn't go everywhere. Oh, make sure it goes in the sieve. That's it, honey, that's it, cool. Can you get a teaspoon out of the drawer as well for me? Lovely, okay, so that's all separated. Perfect.
Teaspoon.
1 teaspoon, just a little teaspoon. Pink one. The purple one, sorry. Purple one. Okay, and then we need 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, can you grab the sieve again for me, Hannah? Just hold it over the flour. I'm going to pop that in there. You know, self-raising, the baking powder just gives it a bit more lightness to the finish. Okay, we're just sieving that so there's not big lumps. Okay, so got a couple more things to add. Just want to make sure that banana is really bashed up, Roo, please.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to pick this up, like so. I'm going to read it on the paper. And we're going to add that to the cake mix, so that it doesn't go everywhere. Okay, and then when we put it down, we're going to make sure we don't put it on a really high speed, because we don't want it going everywhere. Like that. See, that'll show you what not to do. Okay, so we're making that. So that'll make it quite a thick mix. Let's incorporate a little flour in. And then we've got a little bit of cake around the top. Okay, and just take that off with a spatula. So it goes down into cake. Okay, we've got that banana.
Okay, get it. 1 sec.
Okay, do you want to scrape that into the mix? Honey, do you want to hold this tablespoon for me?
There you go.
Yeah. Right, shall I hold it and you scrape it?
Yeah.
Make sure it all gets out. We use the spatula again. Scrape it out. Don't waste anything. Okay, and then we need two spoonfuls. Hold your spoon over there. That's it. Ready? So, 1, tip it in. 2, job done. Pop this down. Mix it. And then we've got walnuts. So these are walnut pieces, so they're slightly chopped. If you want to put those in.
With the pan.
Go on then, Rick.
Yeah.
Dip them in. Chop the walnuts in. Dip them in.
All of them.
Yeah. Okay. Give that another mix. That looks alright then. Doesn't look too bad. So just scrape that off of here. And then I'm going to need your help transferring it to the tin. And then we're going to pop it in the oven. It takes about an hour to cook because it's not on a high heat. So we're going to check it after about 45 minutes. And then we're going to see how cooked it is. So can you bring that cake tin over, pop it on the board for me, that one there. Just going to make sure that's what the mix looks like. It's there. It's nice and smooth, really nice loaf tin mix. Okay, so we're using our spatula. Okay, do you want to come this side of me?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to scrape it? scrape 1/2 inch in. Just scrape it down, just put it down, that's it. Try to get it on the side. Okay, honey, you okay? Scrape that in. Any more Ruth? Can you get any more out? Try not to get it upside too much. So if you get that size of the cake tin, you get all those really dry, crispy bits, and they're really horrible. So try and get it in the bottom of the tin, and then we can just spread it down. Okay? Excellent. Well done. Let's get the last little bit out. Well done. Okay, so we're just going to spread that over. Okay, so it's all spread over nicely like that. Okay. Smells really nice. Have a smell. Smells lovely. Okay. And then we're going to pop this in the oven for an hour.
What does it smell like? Oh, that's delicious.
It is, isn't it? So we're going to pop it in the oven for an hour. So Alexa, set timer for 1 hour.
Or you could set it on your watch or phone.
Alexa, set timer for 1 hour.
Second timer, 1 hour, starting now.
Perfect. Or you could use any other, absolutely, any other medium
Like
for
a
setting a
phone
phone or a watch. Or you can stand and count. Go on then. Start counting.
1, 2, 3,
See you in an hour.
4.
Back again. So timer's just gone off for the hour. I did check it after 45 minutes and turned it around in the oven just to make sure that it was nice and evenly cooked all over. So what we're going to do is going to get our oven cloth and we're going to take out our loaf. You can see really nicely risen. Okay. So what we're going to do, just to double check it, is just going to get a skewer and what we do is we put it into the thickest part of the cake, okay, and lift it out, and as you can see that's nice and clean. Okay, just pop it in again just to make sure. If it comes out with any cake on it, then it's not quite ready. Okay, so it's going to sit that there for just a minute, just so it doesn't break. And then what we're going to do in a sec, I'll lift it out of the tin and I'm going to pop it onto a cooling rack, which is there, and then leave that to cool probably for about an hour or so again, just so it's cool enough to put the ice and sugar on. Because if you put the ice and sugar on the top while it's hot, it will just run off and it will just go all over the table. So that's the point it's doing it. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so I'll leave that on there and I'll take this out, and the next time you see it, it will be on the rack cooling down. Hi, right, okay, so the cake has been cooling on the rack like so, and it's nice and cold now, or coolish. It's cool enough to be able to make the icing to go on the top of it, so that we can dress it and it won't fall off all over the plate. So we use the cooling rack so the air goes all the way around it, and it doesn't go soggy on the bottom, because no one likes a soggy bottom apart from in Yorkshire puddings, or if you've been sitting in the sea, then you get a slightly soggy bottom. But we're not sitting in the sea, we're making cakes. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pop it on this dish here, okay? So a nice little presentation plate. Okay, and Ruben, you're going to help me make up the ice and sugar. So we need 25 grams of ice and sugar, which is in the bowl.
25 grams.
Hold the spoon. We need 2 teaspoons of runny honey. So hold that over the bowl.
Runny honey.
Okay, so I'm going to squeeze that. Alright, chip that in. 1.
Well, that must be very sickly.
And 2. Okay, and then you're going to gently use that spoon to mix it round to make an icing. Okay.
Oh, this feels weird.
So mix around in circles. Yeah, keep going. You can go a bit quicker than that, just don't flick it over the edge. Okay, keep going. Use the back of the spoon, just press it down. Okay. Now a quick feel of it. Okay, so we're going to leave this a little bit runnier. So what we're going to do is we're going to add another teaspoon of water to it. Okay, so I'm just going to grab a teaspoon of water from the tap. Okay, excuse me.
Sorry.
Tip that in there. Okay, and then do you want to mix that around again?
Yep.
Make a nice icing. So use the back of the spoon, push it down. Get all the lumps out. Really give it a mix.
Why is it
Stuff off the side.
crackling?
Crackling, that's because it's sticky. It's a sticky sound
Yeah.
because of the honey. Give it a really good mix. Nice and smooth. That's it. Just mix it in the bottom of the bowl. Nice and quick. That's it.
Yeah.
A little bit more. And I'll give it a quick whiz just to get all the lumps out. Okay, so as you can see there, we've got a nice icing there. So honey, I need your help to put the honey over the top.
Okay.
You're going sporty, but you're going to do some exercising like kids from Fame. Yeah? Right, okay. So I'm going to show you, honey, watch. Okay. So I'm going to show you what you're going to do. So you're going to get a spoonful. Okay, and then what we're going to do is just drizzle that just over the top.
Okay.
Just like that. Okay, so I'll get you another spoonful and then you can do it the other way. So you go that way across.
Okay.
Okay. Sit, drizzle like that.
Oh.
Chuck it on. Done this bit here. Lovely. And a bit more. So just a bit more along there. Okay, and then you can finish the last bit. Then Ruben, I'll need you over in a sec.
You need me?
Yep.
Okay. Hello.
That's it, chuck it on the top. Lovely. Okay, I'll just put the last little bit on there. Okay, Ruben, grab the walnuts
Yes,
that are in the
I
other
will
bowl.
grab the walnuts. They're in the bowl.
Okay. And then just going to put a straight line of walnuts down on the middle. So start at one end.
Okay.
Do it so it's on the icing.
Oh,
So it will stick.
okay.
Yeah, I'll put a little bit there. Stick them on the icing. So a nice line down the middle.
2.
Right in the middle. That's it. There's about 12, and a nice space out. Space out a bit. Okay, 10 or 12 pieces of walnut on there, and each piece will be a slice when you're cutting it up. Nearly done. Okay, that's one on there. Let's go. Lovely. Perfect, and there you go. That is your finished banana loaf with honey icing. Finish off with some walnuts on the top. Okay, so what I would like you guys to do is to either recreate that if you have the right ingredients at home, or if you don't have those ingredients at home, what I would like you to do is find a cake that you can make from ingredients that you've got in your cupboards that you could possibly, it could be a chocolate cake, or it could be a fruit cake, or it could be a ginger cake or something along those lines. But find a recipe if you haven't got the ingredients to make this one, and then what you need to do is then post pictures of that onto the group page, the Google Docs page, which I'll send you a link of how to do that. Okay, I look forward to seeing it, and I'll see you in the next video I make. See you later. Bye bye.
Bye bye.